Sovereignty can mean anything from gardening, and there's not just vegetables to garden, there's berries and fruits and medicines from the woods, that are that make teas or salves and other things that keep us healthy and well. If we have the knowledge of our ancestors, whether it's gathering like we've already talked about, or taking care of the resources, preserving our language, having respect for one another, all that's an important part of the big picture.
I like to live by the seasons. It's more of a way to reconnect with the environment, and I try to share that with everybody that I know. It's all in our backyard, it's all in our forests, and it's there for us, and it's there for us to build a relationship and to understand those plants and when they're to be picked and harvested and used and dried and shared.
So GMOs could be both positive or negative influences on the environment. First of all, it's important to recognize that GMOs come in many different flavors. There are many different types. So we can't make a general statement about GMOs. We have to look at each GMO just as we'd look at each of any particular item. So some GMOs, for example, are designed to resist insect damage, and that lowers the use of chemical insecticides. Other GMOs are designed to enable a particular herbicide to be used. So in general, I will say that GMOs have the capability of being positive. Another factor, of course, is consumer acceptance. For example, in Africa, yellow corn is more healthy because it has more carotenoids, which are precursors to vitamin A, which is so critical for eye development and other aspects of health. But white corn is more preferred as a traditional food. So sometimes just consumer preferences and traditions can be an issue in what's accepted and what isn't. But with respect to health effects, ecosystem effects, or other scientific questions, each GMO is a unique product.
Our modern diet today that we buy at the supermarket is not very healthy for our bodies. The modern way of processing food is, what they do is they take a plant-based diet and they take the wildness out of the plant. When you take the wildness out of the plant, you take out what's good medicinally for the body, the human body.
There's a lot of soda that's drinking around here. There's a lot of the flaming hot Cheetos, so kind of a controversial idea, but maybe they could start putting a tax on those foods so that people are discouraged from buying them. We get so many calories and zero nutrition from soda and energy drinks, and you can walk up and down the sidewalks here or drive anywhere in the reservation and you see people drinking like giant cans of energy drinks. To encourage healthier diets, I think that the tribe could encourage more home gardens, community gardens. They could change some of their housing policies so that people that living in the housing areas could grow gardens in the ground instead of pots and things in their backyard.
We had a group, at least like a coalition of folks here on the Menominee Indian Reservation who kind of banded together, and they wanted to look at the status of the food security situation here on the reservation. Some of the things that we're looking at and we're trying to address is, well, what did we do before we had government commodities? We foraged in the forest, we gathered food, we grew our own food, and so that's kind of where we're spurring a lot of our efforts now. Is we see what the problem is. We have a lack of local food being grown in the community, and so now we have to look at, okay, so since we have a lack of food, we need to bring back our old traditions of foraging and gathering and figuring out.
All through our history, we've lived off the land. These wild plants that surround us right now give a gift to us in the nutrition that it provides. We've lost that. Hence, we've lost what our diet is, basically.
But there's always things, that are around you that you can utilize for food sovereignty, or at least to nourish yourself. It's sometimes as simple as just going out and picking berries with your family.
There's so much we can do. Maybe it's that 7th generation they speak of. You guys could be that 7th generation. And we've been through a lot of heartache and pain to get there.
We were the healthiest people before contact, and something happened. We all know what happened. And I believe that we can be healthy again, and it's there and it's waiting for us, and we just have to go in and learn about it and live that way of life again.
What I would like to see in the community is youth and their families having more guidance so they can eat food they grow themselves, and learning more about processed foods so they can learn the importance of growing your own food and going back to just traditional ways of eating.
I would like to see youth join 4-H, become a FFA member at their school, join and look into programs such as SLC, or even just volunteer time in a community garden. All those ideas can help someone understand what sustainability is.
What I would like to see in the community is more youth and their families understanding how simple it is to practice aspects of food sovereignty and sustainability. Simple as going out in the forest to harvest some berries, or going to the local farmers market, or even starting a small garden in your backyard.
And I would like to see in the community more of the things that people such as Jonesy Miller are doing. For instance, he has a garden that he tends to himself, and he uses that to try to inspire other people to also garden, go back to the sustainable ways of life that the Menominee and all the other native tribes used to. And I would like to see more of that, perhaps sponsored by the tribal legislature, so that the people can get back to the roots of what the Native American peoples used to do.